All right, this is going to be the start of probably like a mini series that I'm going to do on this channel. It's called How to Sell Beats on YouTube. And this is going to be tip one. So I'm going to keep these brief. I know what you're looking for. You're looking for the gems, so I'm going to get right into it. So the number one thing you need to focus on is selling beats online. And I think that, specifically on YouTube, and I think that everything, all other aspects come after this. Thumbnail comes after this. Title comes after this. The quality of the beat is always really important. That should never be overlooked. But the number one aspect, specifically on YouTube, for selling beats online, you should focus on is what's called the average view duration, the AVD. So what is that? That is how much of your video somebody's actually going to watch when they click it. So say your beat is 2.5 minutes, right? Somebody clicks your beat, you know, the title pulled them in, the thumbnail pulled them in, you know, the artist keyword and all that looks great. They click your video. If they listen to it for 5 seconds and they click out, that is the number one indicator to YouTube to not push the video. So I've seen in the past people will kind of talk about comments. So like they'll get other people, other producers, or maybe a bunch of artists to comment like, yo, comment on this beat, and I'll give it to you for free or something like that. And what happens is they think that that's what drives the traffic, because you'll pull a bunch of people in and they'll leave a comment on a YouTube video, but then what happens is they just click out of it. So YouTube doesn't really care. They still see that the average view duration of your video is low. So the most important thing is you need to structure your beat so that it keeps the viewer, keeps the artist listening to your beat. And a lot of the times people interpret that like you got to have a lot of change ups, you got to have a lot of parts, you got to have it, keep it interesting, you know? But if you think about it from the artist's perspective, I don't think they really care about an interesting beat. What's really going to keep them there is if they like the beat and they start writing to it and they start thinking about melodies and they start thinking about, they freestyle to it. That's what's going to keep them on the beat for longer. So ironically, I actually think if you keep your beats simple, the artist will stay on there longer. And I've tested this on my channel and it totally works. I think it could be a good idea to have maybe a 5 or 6 second intro to kind of set the tone, and then just go to a simple part of the beat that the artist can write to. So if you're trying to sell beats online, focus on the average view duration. You don't want the artist to click out of your beat, which is obvious, but give them a nice platform for them to just write their songs on it. So focus on that, and when you start dropping your beats, you got 10 out there, 20 out there, 30 out there, 40 beats out there. Go to your analytics and look at the average view duration and ask yourself, why is this beat performing better than others? And a lot of the times it can be just because it's simple and the artist can write to it. So keep that in mind, and that's what's going to have YouTube push your video out, the average view duration.